So in this composition, I want to show you guys all the elements on the transform that you can use to manipulate your subject. So let us take our blue square and let us play with the anchor point. So what your anchor point is this right here. You see this middle? If we go to rotation, on the rotation here, we can move it, depending on where your anchor point is, it would rotate around that anchor point. Let's take it back to 0. You can do the same thing with your scale. You see it scales in the middle because we have our anchor point in the middle, and you can always keyframe your anchor point as well. And what else can you do with the anchor point? I think that's pretty much it. So let me show you something cool with the anchor point. So let's say now you have keyframed your scale, which, by the way, if you want to keyframe your scale, say you want to start from this small box, you want to make it big, keyframe, make your scale bigger, and you can always make it smaller again to create a bust in bust out animation. Let us make this a little longer. If you look at this now, did you see that? Let's bring this forward. See that? We can always drag all these 3 keyframes, hold on to Alt for those of you using Windows, and those of you using Mac, you can use Option and hold on to Option and drag it out. So what you're trying to do here is you're expanding the keyframes in proportions. So if I click on it now, it has a more fluid animation. So don't forget, we can always do the easy ease. Right click, go to easy ease, become that, and we can always change our graph editor. Go there, change it, we'll move it to the side, and if we play back now, you see how it ends really smooth, and you can do it as that, and so on and so forth. So that's for the scale. So now let's go back to the anchor point. So because we have our anchor point in the middle, so the scaling goes in the middle proportionally. So what if we have our anchor point moved somewhere else? So let's say, for example, we change where our anchor point is, and to change your anchor point, you can literally just change the value of it down here. But what I personally like to do, let's go back. What I personally like to do is I just come to this tool up here. It's called the pen behind tool, and the shortcut for it is letter Y. So with the pen behind tool, you can always move your anchor point anywhere around your subject. So let's move it down here. Let's play it now. You see the difference? Now it's not scaling from the middle, it's actually scaling from where the anchor point is. Let's play with our rotation. So let's say we have rotation on 0 currently. So let's say when we move on the 10th frame, we have our rotation to 90 degrees. So if you see now, see that? So it moves 90 degrees now. So you can always have fun with your rotation as well. And at the same time, even while that is happening, you can still keyframe your position. Let's say I move it sideways. So now can see that. So there's just so much you can do with keyframing to create some really interesting animation. And for opacity, you all know what opacity does. You can just keyframe it to when you get to any point that you want. Let's use the opacity to 50%. So as you can see, the opacity starts at 100, and when it gets to a certain frame, it reduces its opacity. So you can always play around with this as much as you can. So I think that's pretty much for keyframing. And okay, yeah, I also want you guys to know that with keyframing, you can always add anything in After Effects that has this time watch right here. Just know that you're able to use the keyframe. All you have to do is, if you want a keyframe on a certain location, put your timeline on there and just click on it. If you don't want your keyframe anymore, just come back and click on it. And also, if you want to move from keyframe to keyframe and you don't want to be moving left and right, all you can do is press the position of the subject and come to this left and right arrow here. This is where it moves from keyframe to keyframe. So you can see once I press forward, it goes to the first keyframe there. Once I move backward, it goes to the back keyframe. So you can always play around with all that. And that is it for this tutorial. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget, subscribe, put any questions that you might have in the comment below, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao ciao.